Good morning, everyone. Today I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question about where are you living? You know, we have a personality. Think about personality as two words. It's your personality. It's the person who you are. What creates that? Not our conscious brain, our non-conscious brain. Our conscious brain creates the person. In fact, it has 98% control over over what we do, right? Over who we are and how we show up. It is our program. And we have this creative non-conscious, which is the voice. So I want to ask you, we talk about the past, the present, and the future. And I want to ask, where are you living? So let's think about our past. How many of you think about some of these things? Think about guilt, shame, and regret. Think about feeling sad or depressed about something that happened. Dwelling on what happened, right? And not being able to let it go. Replaying events or conversations that happened in your past and overanalyzing. Here's the problem. When we can't let go of that stuff, one, it's already happened. Can't change it. Number two, it's had an impact on what? Our non-conscious brain. It's created an image, if you will, or an understanding or an awareness of how things happen, and it really stifles our ability to deal with things going on in the present. You know, you see people who really dwell or hold on to things in their past or haven't dealt with them. It affects their ability to have relationships. It affects their ability to have great friendships. It affects their ability to do well in their jobs because they have this expectation that's been created by the past and they can't let go of it. Folks, living in the past is not a good place to be. And then let's talk about the future, right? How many of us live in our future? The fear of the unknown. Yeah, but what if this happens? But what if that happens? Worrying about what could happen. Yeah, but what if that happened? Feeling anxious, right? Or what's to come? I don't know. Overthinking, doing the what if scenarios all the time, thinking worst case scenarios, right? Folks, here's the thing about the future. The future hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet. So what do we need to do? We need to let go of the past. We need to quit worrying about the future and where do we live? How many of us live in the present? How many of us live right here in the present, right? Dead center in the present. What's that? Clarity. Clarity about what you're going to do today. What's your intention today? Acceptance. Acceptance of what? Acceptance of what's going on in the past and acceptance of things happening that are happening right now that are scaring you of the future that you can't control and you got to let go of. How about this? The joy of being. How many of you are just grateful for what you have today, right? Understanding that there's some things in my past that are causing me to react in a way right now today that aren't benefiting me. I need to get my arms wrapped around that and figure out why, because it's going to keep happening if I don't deal with it. How many of you have inner peace? And just, you know what? I am so grateful that that stuff isn't happening anymore. I'm so grateful that I have control over who I am today because it's going to dictate where I'm going to go in the future. And the last but not least is gratitude. How many of you, think about this, are living in the past? How many of you are worrying about the future, or how many of you are living in the present? Think about it. And by the way, this is stuff that I got to think about all the time too, because it impacts me. I've got to be aware of it. How many of you are aware of it? And going back to what I first said, your non-conscious brain, if you want to reprogram, get a hold of your narratives. Listen to your creative non-conscious and what it's saying to you today. Is it talking more in the past? Is it worrying more about the future? Or is it dead center in the present? All right, everybody, hey, make it a great day. Be awesome. Help somebody. I'll talk to you later.